Hi everybody, welcome back to Black Book Stacks. Before I get started, I wanted to thank you for being a subscriber. I passed the 100 mark, which feels like a pretty small milestone compared to other people who are on YouTube, but for me it's a big deal. I had no idea that many people would be interested in Black books, and anyone who just loves to talk about them. So I'm humbled, I'm excited. Thank you for joining me here, and with that I will get started. So thank you again for your likes, shares, and subscribes. I'm going to talk about Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. So this came out I believe in early May, and it is the story of two sisters, one in New York, the other in the Dominican Republic, Camino and Yahaira, and they are the daughters who don't know each other of a man who dies in a flight that is, I think, leaving New York and going to the Dominican Republic. And there is a practice or a custom for people who live in the Dominican Republic. When the plane lands, usually they clap, and it's kind of an acknowledgement that they've returned home. It's gratitude for the airplane pilot getting them there safely, and it's also this sort of jubilant recognition that they've made it back to where they're from. And so that is the inspiration for the title. And this is a novel in verse, like The Poet X, which was Elizabeth Acevedo's breakout novel in verse. I think that's the one she won the National Book Award for, and I think I might have mentioned this before, but I also got to review With the Fire on High for the New York Times back when it came out, but that was just a traditional novel, young adult novel, and really beautiful, really a lot of fun if you're looking for just sort of a traditional YA novel with an uncommon character who's pretty great. What I loved about Clap When You Land is that this is a really profound moment for Black people, for Black Lives Matter, for the transformation of racial justice in our country. And at the same time, there's a lot of, I think, still collective grief and mourning and healing that needs to happen, that I think is underway on an individual level. Speaking for myself, really, and not really anyone else. But I can speak also to just the people in my world and my friends, and I think all of us are just trying to be okay. That little segue, or me on my little soapbox, the reason I mention it is because this is the story of two girls who are grieving in different ways their father, but also I think their childhoods. Sometimes it's possible that you grieve an idea, right? So the death of a person can sometimes bring up mourning for what you did not get to experience with that person. And so I think a lot of what Elizabeth Acevedo does really well in the book is that she conveys that longing of each individual daughter for her father. There's both the reflection and the reminiscing about what they each had with him, but then there's also the revelation, which I actually thought came pretty late in the book, which I was surprised about, but there's the revelation that these daughters have the same father, but they don't know each other. And so there's also this really beautiful piece about what grief reveals to you, and what it's hard to call it a gift because it doesn't feel like a gift, but what you can retain in terms of the positive when you have a negative experience. And so there is, I think, a real maturity and a real truth to the way she allows these characters to address their respective contexts. And yeah, I thought it was beautiful. I think it's really helpful to have language for, what happens when you lose a parent, but not only that, what happens when you lose someone who you thought you knew so much about, and it turns out that there were all these secrets, or there were these other aspects of them that you didn't know about. So you mourn that, right? So you mourn the person, but then you also mourn, not getting a chance to know really all the contours of their lives. So I thought it was really artfully done. It's a quick read. It is about 417 pages. You should not skip the author's note. It is beautiful. If you get the hardcover, you have this beautiful design, which reflects, the Dominican Republic and New York really beautifully, and just sort of adds complexity to the book cover in a real beautiful way. So I think this is a really great read. I would say, if you're the kind of person who doesn't like to read about heavy things and heavy things are going on, then maybe save this one for later. But maybe start with The Fire on High, because I think the paperback should be coming out soon. But if it's not out already, it might be out already. I'm getting my years and my weeks and my days mixed up. But that is what I have for you. I hope that you enjoy Clap When You Land. I hope that if you're not reading something like it, or novels at all, that you'll share with me in the comments what it is that you are reading, and maybe we can nerd out in the comments. But if not, I will see you the next time I do a video. All right, take care.